Hi everyone, welcome. This is Geisy, and this is our first episode of the podcast. And this episode is going to be dedicated to veganism and vegetarian. So it's going to have a couple different, answer some questions and give you guys some tips and stuff how to transition into being a vegan or go into a plant-based diet. And also just give you guys an idea of what it was like for myself being a vegetarian and for my guest speaker, which is Vania Magagnato.
Hi.
Hello. Vania is a vegetarian. Well, she's currently a vegan, and she's been a vegetarian for about 3 or 4 years, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And nothing, we're just going to have some conversation on this. So, okay. Vania, how long have you been a vegetarian officially?
Vegetarian, about 3.5 years, maybe on and off, I would say 4. But strictly 3.5. And then vegan, I've been for about a month and a half.
Nice. How's that going?
It's amazing, to be honest. At first, it was really difficult. It wasn't what you would expect it to be, but now it's become so easy, and it's something that I'm so comfortable doing that I don't even think about it twice,
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what inspired you and your decision to pursue a plant-based diet?
Well, I've always wanted to be a vegan. I don't know. I always loved animals so much that I could never think about why I would be eating them. But being raised in this society where we're born to believe that we gain all of our protein and any standard meal includes meat. A piece of meat, and you wouldn't think of it. You would never think anything of it. So then my mom actually started being a vegetarian without telling anyone in my household, and she would give us soy meat products, so it was not real meat, and we never knew the difference.
Really? How long did this go on for?
Yeah, 4 months. So
you guys never noticed it?
Never. No, crazy. I would never know. And she did it with pasta, and she would do it with a rice and chicken. If you buy the soy chicken, the meatless chickens, they look like chicken and they taste like chicken. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And if you put the right seasoning, it's perfect.
Yeah.
So I would never know, and I never did.
Yeah, especially because you're just there thinking you're having some,
exactly,
chicken
and I'm not the one cooking it.
Really, it's not that at all.
Exactly. So then we ate that for a while, and then she told us, and when she did, I was so happy about it. Everyone else was pretty upset, but I was super excited. Yeah, literally. But I was so excited because it's something I've been wanting to do, and she kind of gave me the push that I needed. And then from there on, it just became my lifestyle. And everyone in my household, it worked out because they did it as well, except for my sister. But that's okay.
So your whole family actually was inspired to continue this lifestyle.
Yes.
Cool.
It was amazing.
And so how long ago was that you were eating this, being vegetarian without knowing?
4 years ago.
Oh
that
my
was
God.
4 years ago. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's amazing.
I didn't know that part. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. So what was the thing that really, what was it that made you want to do it mostly? Was it mostly ethical reasons? Was it your health? What really drove you to commit and be hey, I'm going to do this for sure?
Honestly,
it's not easy. It's not easy.
And it's not something, that if you're not doing it for the right reasons, it doesn't become something that you want to do forever. But at first it was simply the animals. I didn't think it was right that I was eating them and everything that they went through, but I never really knew. You hear about it and people tell you, but you don't really see the documentaries, you don't really see the videos, and you don't know. So I started getting myself involved. I wanted to know what I was doing and why I was doing it, and if it was really for me, because it really isn't for everyone.
Yeah, it's not.
Exactly. So then I started watching these videos, and I would see the exploitation, the cruelty, the things that they go through, and it's not normal. It's not I don't know, I don't understand.
It's not right. It's not
just
necessary.
I can't exactly, we don't believe that humans should go through that, but why should they?
Yeah.
It's not, I don't know. So that from there on, it just became something way more meaningful than I thought it would ever be. And then the health part just came with it. Out of nowhere, my body just completely changed. I was feeling so much healthier. I was feeling like I had so much more energy than I ever did. And
so let me ask you this: you transitioned from being a regular meat eater to, did you go straight into being a vegetarian? Did you do it cold turkey? Did you have give yourself a trial period, oh, I'm gonna try this many days, and if I can do it, I'm gonna continue? How was it? How was your?
I used to eat meat every day. Before this happened, we would eat it red meat specifically because we didn't really like chicken, which is considered leaner meat.
Yeah.
So it's healthier, if you were to say. But we ate a lot of red meat at my house, which is not healthy.
Yeah, I feel like and you're from Chile.
Yeah.
And both your parents, your whole family's from Chile.
Exactly.
I'm Cuban, and I'm a pescatarian now. And I have been for also same time. I think we started around the same time, like 3 years it's gonna be. And it's really strange for a Cuban family or a Chilean family to like be vegetarian or vegan.
100%, especially
meat
Cuban.
is a huge part of like our
My
regular.
God. And pork is engraved within you, and lard, which is pig fat, is cooked with everything in a
Pan
Cuban
con lechon,
household.
hello.
Exactly.
That's life.
Cuban bread contains lard, and you would never know about
really?
it. It's crazy.
Oh, true.
And in Chile, I mean, it's not that we eat a lot of vegetables over there, so it does help me. I love veggies. I have always loved veggies, so it didn't become difficult for people that don't like veggies. It's not going to be something easy to do because that's the main component. Veggies. Exactly. So it becomes easier for us. But so that's the good thing about it. But if your diet is constantly, revolving around meat, and you're eating rice and you're eating pasta and it's meat and barely any veggies, you're gonna go on a spiral with this. So
yeah, seriously, you have to kind of balance it out. So do you feel a lot better now being vegan than you did
yes
when you were vegetarian? 100%. What do you feel? Because I feel like when I started, I was like, wow, like I just felt more energetic, like more.
That's how I felt too.
More alive, and also my conscience was like, I felt like at peace, like
exactly.
Damn, I'm doing a good thing for the world, for myself, for my future children's children.
Yes, that was my first thought also, and but then in my thought as well was, okay, but I'm still eating dairy. But I'm still eating dairy when I was a vegetarian, and it wasn't easy to let go of dairy. I never drank milk, right? So that was like easy. Cow milk, I never drank cow milk, so that was easy to let go of. Yogurt, I mean, it wasn't something I really included in my diet, but it's not something that you think twice about. I don't know, like you just eat yogurt when you go out, like you want to eat a granola, no, it's like a yogurt thing. So like it becomes. It's something easy to eat that you don't think about it. Or like you go get pancakes, and that includes butter, and butter is made out of. It's everywhere, and you don't really think about it. So I never really took that step to become a vegan because it made it seem like it was very difficult. Yeah. But I don't know, like it became a burden to me out of nowhere. Like I went on this trip to Hawaii, and they're so humble over there, and their philosophy of life is so beautiful. Yeah. And they're not vegan, so it's not something that I should have that changed me because that's what they believe in. Yeah. It's just I saw how easy it is to be vegan because I was in another place. I was in another state of the United States, I suppose. But it doesn't even feel like it's a state in the United States. Hawaii is like another country. Like it's amazing. But so I was there, and I saw how convenient it was for me to be vegan. So I chose to do it then. And it's crazy because, you wouldn't want to change something so drastic in another place. But I did it. And that's what made me fall in love with it even more. The fact that I could do it somewhere else, and that I came back to Miami another person. And then that's when I started thinking about it. And I was like, man, this is something that has always been me that I was never able to do. Like, why would I?
You never took that first step.
Yeah, never. And, I was really addicted to cheese.
Yeah, I know.
Cheese is everything. And pizza, like double cheese, like everything with a lot of cheese. Like, I love cheese. So that was really like one of the hardest things. And cream cheese.
Oh my God.
No. And tequeños, I love tequeños. It's those little things that you have to let go of. But, at first it was about not eating that specific food anymore. But then the more I continue to educate myself on what I'm doing, is now I don't even care for it. Yeah, it grosses me out to even think about it, Yeah, and like I see people. Balances out. Yeah, definitely. And I see people eating it, and I'm not in my head, judging them because I was there too. And no one really knows what they're doing. So I don't know. It's just, I'm really happy about my decision,
That's great. I congratulate you truly, because I've tried. I feel like, I'm not going to say I feel like I can't, because I feel if I really, really try, I thought that I could never be a vegetarian. Exactly. But from one day to the next, I was like, hey, listen, I'm going to change this about myself. I know all the reasons why. I feel like I can do it. And if I can't, then at least I know that I tried. Exactly. And there really is no reason why people are like, oh, I could never do that. I could never not eat meat. I could never. It's everyone's thought. Everyone thinks the same. We're raised to believe that meat is a part of, especially the older generation. Definitely the older generation. They're like, my parents don't get it. My dad still tries to, he's like, hey, I made some barbecue. I'm like, okay. Or like, I remember the first Thanksgiving that we had when I had just started to be vegetarian. That must have been difficult for you more than anything. Actually, not so much. It was a little bit more annoying kind of dodging everybody's like, you're not gonna eat any
questions.
turkey,
Oh my
or
God.
like,
The
you know?
questions.
Yes.
God.
And I remember it was February when I started. February 1st.
Mhm.
It was our friend's birthday,
Yeah,
Sabrina.
yeah.
It was February 1st when I started, and it was by November I was already used to it. I was like okay with my decision. I was strong on it. And I remember my dad like, hey, you're not gonna have any turkey? And I'm like, Dad, is turkey an animal? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, well, I thought it was just red meat and chicken. I'm like, it's everything. Like,
literally,
it's there's so many things, and it really wasn't hard. It's like you said, the questions.
It's
the questions, and especially all the family members like, oh my God, then why are you doing it? Then you have to give the same explanation.
Yes.
And they're never gonna, because if they
and
know
and
about
they judge
it,
you. And I mean, it's not like I don't know if judge is like the best word to
yeah,
use, but
they
it's
question,
criticize. I guess they're constantly just like, why are you doing it? But is it really good for you? Are you
I think
really
they're
that
just
healthy?
skeptical. They're like,
yeah, definitely.
like, hey, like that's bad for you. Like my dad will be like, hey, you're tired today. It's because
you're
need meat.
vegetarian.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're anemic. Like,
that's what everyone would tell me at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, you're sick. Oh, you're so sick. You're always so sick. It's because you changed your diet. And I'm like, what?
Which actually it can be a factor in some
if
people.
you don't do it
Some
right,
people,
definitely.
Yeah, some people, if you don't take the right steps and include the right meals, and like, you have to balance it out. It's true, you can't live without protein, but you can live without meat-based protein.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is that a lot of people, what they do when they turn into being a vegetarian or being a vegan straight on, is that they eat a lot of carbs, and carbs do not have all the protein, the iron, the calcium.
Nutritional value.
No, they don't. And that's how you gain a lot of weight also, you know. And so the main thing is to educate yourself before you even do anything like this. And you should always include protein within your meals. And it's easy to forget the protein because you go out, you're like, let me just get a salad. Let me just get a salad, or let me get pasta or this. And in reality, you're not eating any protein.
Or like when I started, like, grilled cheese or something.
Yes,
like, that's not really
like a grilled cheese sandwich. But
it's easy, if you go somewhere and they have it on the menu.
Or like a panini, anything.
And it's easy, but you have to find the place.
That's definitely the thing as well. Like being vegan now, I realize how hard it is to eat anywhere. Because, okay, so a lot of places are vegetarian friendly. And like I never considered it. I was like, okay, if they're vegetarian friendly, they have to be vegan friendly. But they're not.
Yeah.
You go anywhere and the veggie patty might have egg, you know, and you would think, okay, it's a veggie patty, you know, it's going to be vegan, but it's not.
Yeah.
Anywhere you go, truly. And like you'll try to get like a specific sauce. Let's say it's tzatziki. That's a Greek sauce, and it's delicious and I love it. Yum. But it has Greek yogurt. So that's something I eliminate, you know, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with it.
Is there a vegan option that you've found to that? Tzatziki?
To tzatziki, I mean, you just eliminate the Greek yogurt. You could put like coconut yogurt, but that's the thing is that you have to make your own food. The hardest thing about it is going out and eating. That's it.
Yeah. I feel like in Miami, I feel like there have been a lot more places that I see. Especially I feel like it's a very, I hate to say it, but like trendy thing.
It is 100%.
You know, and it sucks to say that because trends pass. And like if you do it, like you said, if you do it for the wrong reasons, and it's not something you're actually motivating yourself to do, and it's just something you're doing for the time being, you know, for the moment. When the trend passes, you're going to go back to eating. Yes. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's not like saying like, hey, you're a bad person because you tried this for a year and you didn't like it. Maybe it didn't work for you, but if the reasons aren't like real reasons, then it's going to be like that for everything.
That's how most people do it. Yeah. That's the reason why most people do it.
Yeah.
Because a famous celebrity did it, or because their favorite athlete did it. They're like, oh, let me try it out.
Newest diet or whatever.
Yes. Let me just try this out. It's something that's going on. And like, oh, let me go eat this vegan food. But they don't realize how amazing it is that what you're doing. Benefits. You're doing an impact. You're really making an impact in the world. And people don't realize it, you know?
Okay, so let's talk about some of those impacts.
Let's go.
All right, let's see. Well, first off, expenses. Is it actually more expensive for you that you've found being vegan or vegetarian than it was to buying regular meat?
You know what? Think about it. You know, when you go out and eat, getting the salad for some reason is always $10, considering the burger that's $7.99. I don't know why, but and lettuce is something so easy to get. It's like the most so I don't understand why, but it is something a little bit more expensive than the usual. But when you go and get burgers, the veggie patty is sometimes the cheapest. So it really just depends on that aspect. But when you do grocery shop,
the meat is the most expensive thing.
Always. And not only that, you know, you're going to buy a lot more quantity of vegetables. You're going to buy a lot more quantities of beans and whatever it is that you're going to be getting, whole grains. But it's also where you get it from, because the one thing that you do learn about this as well is that you want to be organic. Yeah. And the thing is that a lot of the foods that you're getting, you think that they're organic, but they're
claim
not.
to be like
Yes,
organic or
And like some people, they do like kosher style meat. You know, they're like, okay, no, I don't eat the bad chicken, the ones that are treated badly. I'm just gonna get the cage-free chicken.
Yeah.
But in reality, none of them are cage-free. And no one really knows that because it's something that they want to tell you so you feel better about yourself. But in reality, no, they're not cage-free. They're in the same situation as any other chicken.
Yeah, I think anything that's mass produced, and that's like the problem, especially in America. There's like a huge imbalance with what the FDA, the people that work for that, like a lot of them, it's not a huge group of people, and a lot of them are people that have invested into these huge meat companies and slaughterhouses.
And they want to get the money. They don't care about you or your health. They want money.
It's a conflict of interest that shouldn't be legal to be on the board of FDA, people regulating the food things and all the policies, and also investing and having maybe like putting money into the actual slaughterhouses.
I 100% agree.
It doesn't work.
And that's exactly how it is.
But a lot of people don't know that.
And it's ran by those type of
They're
people.
like, oh, hey, no, it's approved. The United States says it's healthy.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And FDA lies about so many things, and they'll try to sugarcoat so much more than what you know. So that's another thing that comes with that. Being organic is not something cheap. So it's a whole lifestyle that you want to get into. So like,
what is really considered eating organic?
Like, okay, I consider Publix one of those supermarkets that are really well done. I think like considering that to Sedano's or Walmart, I'd rather get my stuff from Publix. They're a lot more like Trader Joe's. I don't know if you have heard of it.
Yeah, of course.
It comes from California, and if you do your research, it's a small family owned, and it just grew out of nowhere, and I feel like
when you know family owned morals.
Yes, exactly. So like when you know their stories and you know what they believe in, that's what they put into what they're trying to sell you. So and then that's one of the places that I love getting my food from. I know that, and not everything in Trader Joe's either. Like Aldi, the supermarket, that
That's
they
German,
are proven. Right? They're from Europe. I don't know exactly where in Europe.
I think so.
Maybe
I'm
German.
Sure.
I'm not sure, but I know that they literally live by being organic. They don't like anything.
And when you go into
processed.
the stores, it's small.
Yes,
they only have a certain
small
amount of things for you to get, because it's impossible to have hundreds of a certain fruit if it's not the season of the fruit. That means that it has mad hormones, 1,000 different
it's always going to be different
chemicals.
foods. They're not going to sell you the same exact thing, and they do have a really big like gluten-free and veggie component to it, so that's cool. And then they also don't even let you have bags. Everything has to be in boxes. Like you're not gonna take.
I was like, where are my bags?
You get scared, and also the little, what are they? The coins that you put to get the cards. Yeah, you pay 25 cents, and then you put it back and get your 25 cents back. Like it's things like that.
The mentality, like you're putting something into it, and then you're still getting something back. That's like it's just basically that
whole lifestyle
helps to not like keep the cards. Like,
exactly.
Whatever. We're kind of drifting off here.
But yes, it's perfect.
The whole mentality behind it.
Exactly.
So. I was doing some research and on veganbits.com, which is like this really cool website that I found that has a lot of like different recipes and information and little tidbits.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
It's cool. There was a study that like a demographic thing, like census type of thing. It's actually from 2017, so it's current information. And it says it had surprisingly the largest concentration of vegans are at the lower end of the economic range. So you come to think, oh, vegans are the people like, oh man, it's so expensive. Like they're the people that are making
rich
6 figures or,
yeah.
It's not that at all. It's actually the 7%, which is the largest percentage out of that make up the vegans.
Definitely.
In the different price income brackets. It's people making $50,000 or less.
Yeah, take my family into that.
Yeah, and
that's exactly
an average household makes about $55,000 a year.
Yeah, and then the biggest common mistake that people do make though is also that they're gonna be spending a whole bunch of money, and that's not the reason why you do it. At the end of the day, it's something that you change, but not because of that you're gonna consider limit yourself to something so amazing. I don't know if that makes any sense.
If you really want to do it, like you can just budget around it.
Definitely.
You can say, oh, instead of maybe having an extra drink when you go out, then you use that money to budget for a couple extra cents here, which is actually not the case, because as we see here, the majority is, and that could be also a fact that vegans make up, most of the vegans are from 20 to 30 years old, or 35, I believe. And that can be also
like vegans that just started are usually 20 to 30, or like the vegans that they usually like interview are like very well known. I don't know if you get me. Like they're very active.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Well, I mean, this study, I guess it's from out of the percentage of people that they took the study from.
Okay.
Most of them fell into the 20 to 35
Gotcha.
year. And that could be a part of the, the lower income. It can be maybe because they're so young, they're living at home, or which is, you become a lot more socially aware of things, I think, when now that we're younger, because there's so many different influences on all these social media platforms that our parents aren't as tech savvy, so they don't get that information. All they hear is like, what they see on Telemundo and Univision.
And what they grew up on. And what their parents, exactly. Yes.
And maybe it's because we're students and we're still not in that, we're just starting off our career.
And we're also we want to expand more. We want to learn more about different things. And back in the day, it was a lot more close-minded.
Yeah,
for sure. So that's the cool thing about us also.
So yeah, definitely. What do you feel about when people ask you? Because this happens to me. You already know.
No, man. Like honestly,
when they ask you. So let's have a little chat here. Oh, Vania, you're a vegan, right?
Yeah.
So
and look, and
your tone,
listen to my tone. I'm already over it.
She's doing the blinking eye. She's doing the eye rolls.
It's because the second I mentioned vegan, everyone just looks at me.
What do you eat?
I get the spotlight. What do you eat? Where do you get your protein? Oh my God, I feel so bad for you.
They look at you like
if you're depressing little child that can't eat.
You're like, I made a decision. Like
exactly, it's my decision. It's not because I can't eat I'm lactose intolerant. Like no, I'm perfectly fine. I want to do this. And
so what do you eat?
What do I eat? Okay, are you asking me for real?
Yeah, for real.
Man, everything.
What are your favorite vegan or vegetarian treats, or like things that like are also, because there's a big misconception. People think you're gonna eat like steamed broccoli for the rest of your life,
or salad.
Yeah, or like lettuce or spinach. No, there's so many delicious meals. Oh my God,
and I've never been so. Honestly, I'm not a creative person. Never have been, and Pinterest saved my life. Yeah. So Pinterest has a whole bunch of recipes, and they're beautiful recipes. They look like I could belong in a restaurant. They're gorgeous, and they're
pretty easy to make, honestly.
Extremely easy to make. Think about it. You don't have to cook something for a whole 40 minutes like you would for Thanksgiving for the pork.
And not know how it's going to come out because you can't taste it when it's raw.
Yes, exactly. So then, and the cool thing about eating vegetables too is that you can eat them raw. I mean, not a lot of people choose to because they don't like that taste.
And also it loses a lot of its
property when you cook it. So it's really cool that you can do that with veggies. Beans for sure give you a whole bunch of iron. Red lentils actually give you they have the highest amount of iron and protein. Cool. So that's awesome. Eggplant, it's equivalent to eating a huge piece of steak.
Nice.
So an eggplant, honestly, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite unless it's cooked like amazing. I've learned a few recipes. Eggplant? Eggplant parmesan. Yes. You see, the thing is that there is a doppelganger for everything, or is that how you say it?
Doppelganger.
Doppelganger. There is one for every
like alternative.
There really is. Like you could eat macaroni and cheese without the real cheese. It's just, and it would taste just as good, if not better.
Yeah. You know? And what is it that this that they do to make it, because that's another thing. Oh, it's fake cheese.
No, nutritional yeast. So that's the thing, that's the component of the cheese, nutritional yeast, and that gives it that cheesy feel to it. And
so
then
it's not like a weird petri dish grown.
But that's the thing also. If you don't know where to get your food from, if you don't know, you could get those nasty cheeses that they taste like plastic, or they won't even melt because it's completely processed. And then the other thing is that people do is that they eat a lot of soy meat products, and that's not okay. So you're thinking, okay, I'm not eating the meat, but it's not even that. It's just soy is processed. So at the end of the day, this is when I come with the whole organic thing. You want to be organic, you want to be as organic as you can. And soy, at the end of the day, is a processed food. So try to limit it. It's not saying that it's something 100% bad that you should completely eliminate from your diet, but it's not something you should be eating every day. We did that at the beginning because we didn't know any better, and drinking soy milk, and we would a whole bunch of soy. Yes. And it's not the best thing for you. So definitely,
moderation.
Exactly. And it's okay to do that. There's no problem. And to give yourself a little taste, because honestly, it tastes really good. It does. But exactly like you said, in moderation. Everything in moderation, to be honest.
Cool. So let's see. Here in Miami, we were talking about that. I saw there was PETA did a study that the most vegetarian and vegan friendly, actually it was vegan, but I'm guessing, you know, by nature it's already vegetarian. Friendly cities in the United States. And unsurprisingly, we have Portland, Los Angeles. Yeah, Portland is cool. I want to
Portland is, I was actually looking into it and moving there because I did exactly look up like the best vegan friendly cities.
And you were actually like, you know, hey, I'm gonna move over there.
It's because, you know, it really does limit you. Like, I live in Miami, and the only places that have vegan friendly foods are all the way in Miami Beach.
Yeah, or like Wynwood.
When you're a
like
Miami local,
downtown.
you know that if you don't live in that area, you're not going to drive over there for food. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, so especially with the rush hour traffic.
Exactly. No, definitely not. And it's not something I want to be constantly having to do. And I'm not going to move to Miami Beach to waste a whole bunch of money living there. And that's just not my lifestyle.
Yeah, it's not.
So it's something that I do want to incorporate in my life. It's something that I really do believe in. And I've become I've become more of an extremist, if you were to say, with it.
Yeah.
But it's just something that's in my mind. But I'm not trying to like, you know, be out there with it. So I don't want to like offend people ever with it. There is a misconception that vegans are like that. Crazy. And there are some vegans that are like that because they really, really believe in that. Like, I have a friend.
Anybody that's super passionate about something sometimes can get a little overboard and be obnoxious.
A little obnoxious.
Oh my God, you're eating that chicken. How does that death taste?
Exactly. Like, or really? How does the flesh taste? Like, you see, like I would never do that because I was there at a point of my life.
It's not that. It's just like you wouldn't like it if they judged you for being a vegan.
And then we do get judged all the time. And people are always telling you, but that's the thing. Like, you should learn from that. People are doing that to you. Just don't give in mind to it.
You look the other way.
Exactly. There's no reason to fight fire with fire. There's no point. So definitely, like, I've been looking into moving into vegan friendly places. And usually when there are vegan friendly places, like very large vegan friendly places, like LA, let's say, there's everything in LA. The thing is that I love everything. But I love the fact that they are super open to veganism. Yeah. And you know, the people are also very different when they are vegan.
Yes, definitely. And there's also a big the people are a lot more liberal and they have different mentality, you know, from political stances to just, you know, small decisions or big decisions that impact a whole country, a whole world.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. And what do you see that, or things that you've done research on, because I know you've done lots of research on all of this.
Yes, my fair share.
Yeah, the differences between what we're doing and how the cruelty is, how you're helping to diminish the cruelty as a vegetarian than when you are as a vegan. So like what is it that makes vegan so like great?
The difference between the meat industry, the dairy industry. Yeah, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all under a big umbrella, you know. But okay, so the dairy industry, if you think about it, animals, we're gonna talk about the cows because that's one of the biggest ones, you know. So, you know, they're raised in these farms, and I mean, most of them don't know another life other than this, you know. They get pregnant, these cows get pregnant, and they have their kids, and these baby cows,
are they pregnant through natural ways?
No, they're being inseminated, and it's a very painful procedure, you know. And usually they only keep the women cows because the males don't serve any cost to them.
Yeah. For the
so
dairy.
So then and it's a whole bunch of them just getting, I don't know what's the best word to use in this case, but like getting their milk taken away from them.
Yeah,
and I guess the lactation process, I don't know. It's not even because it's not normal.
Yeah.
And they're giving, you know what's the craziest part? That they constantly impregnate them and they abuse them within the first, let's say, week, because that's when they're their most, they carry the most milk. And that's when they completely
they have to keep them pregnant in order to keep them pregnant.
Milk. So this is a constant process. It's just they're never they're always going through this. And mind you, these are baby cows and they are being raised this way. So let's say a cow has an average lifespan of 18 years, and it's 18 years of their lives that they're going through this process. Jesus. Constantly getting inseminated, constantly getting taken milk out.
And this is a very, you know, you think they're just here in this little maybe 6 by 8 foot little pen for them to hang out in. No, they're like squished and basically on top of each other, and in their own waste. And a
lot of people don't know this. And the worst part is
you're gonna drink this milk, people.
Yeah, this is what you're drinking. And you know, and the craziest thing is that you think about this. Every milk, like human milk, is for humans. Goat milk is for goats. Every animal's milk is for a specific. It's for their own animal. They have what they need, and we're the only ones that drink a cow's milk. We're the only ones. I don't know how that doesn't like scream something to people. Like what
red
are we
flag.
doing? Why are we doing that?
I heard that for the first time watching a documentary,
Yes.
like one of these, and I was like, damn, like I
It's
never
so true.
thought of this. It's weird that we're drinking another animal's,
Milk.
the product that they give to feed their young to grow.
Yes.
We don't have the same body as a cow, obviously.
At all.
You
We're
know,
not
we
cows.
don't need the same nutrients that they need. They have nutrients that they need that we don't.
Just
you
like
know,
I'm
it
not gonna
doesn't-
go and I'm
It's not
pregnant.
interchangeable.
I'm not gonna go breastfeed my dog and
Yeah.
give him my milk. What?
It's different.
That doesn't make
That's
sense.
weird.
Like exactly, that doesn't make sense. So why in the world are we doing that with the cows?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, I don't know. It's just the process that they go through. It's ridiculous. It's not right.
Mm-hmm.
So just imagine it's 18 years of this process, and then at the end of
That's
this
the
entire
typical lifespan.
yeah,
Nice.
an average lifespan. Yeah, and that's if they don't die in the process, because a lot of them end up so malnutri. I don't know how you would say that.
Yeah, lack of nutrition, malnourished.
Malnourished, thank you. And they die from diseases. A lot of them have cysts, like open cysts that grow hugely on specifically their nipples, and no one is taking care of that. So that, they have a whole bunch of little nipples, and that one nipple is infected, but the rest are using. This cow is infected, but they're still getting the milk.
Excruciating
And
pain,
it's just I can't. So then 18 years, right? And then at the end of this cow's life, they're like, okay, she's dying. Let's take her to the slaughterhouse. And that's where you get your meat. So basically, all the meat that you're eating was at a point in a dairy farm. All the meat goes to most of it.
Unless it's like free range, they don't.
Not even.
All of it?
Most of it. And I didn't know this either until I became vegan.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think, okay, dairy is bad. I know it's bad. And I didn't want to know the truth when I was a vegetarian, because it's like, man, I'm still eating the cheese, and I'm still going out and eating a pancake that was made with milk. You know what I mean? And those little differences, but they're huge. They're enormous. And so they go, and at the end of essentially you're eating a dairy cow, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, because after they're done, they reach a certain age, they can't, or their bodies are just unable to keep becoming pregnant and producing the milk. Then they're essentially useless.
Exactly.
That's so sad.
Then they kill them.
Yeah.
Alive. It's it's a sad process, but at the end of the day, that's the biggest difference.
Yeah. How about in the chicken?
So I mean, think about it. All the male chickens can't give you eggs, so they're automatically being killed within the second. So these
they're the ones that are solely used for chicken.
Yes, literally.
Okay.
Yes, and not even. Sometimes they just kill them because it's too many of them, and they just kill them. They don't let them grow. They just kill them because they have no use. Just like I said.
The chicks, have you seen that video?
Yes, that they just throw them.
Oh my God. There's a video, guys, that I saw. I forgot if it was in a documentary or if it was just one of these random videos that popped up somewhere. But it was chickens. What they do with the chicks, they don't have the need, or they don't have the means, or to, chickens produce so quickly that they don't need to grow and nourish the little chicks.
Yeah.
So what they do is, if they're not an egg, they're not a chicken that's old enough, they basically throw them into a big blender. Beaks and all.
No, what woodchucker or whatever. Those chipper. Those things, those machines, those big machines that they use to chip the wood is exactly what they use for these chicks.
They grind up these little chicks.
Yes.
This sounds really, really bad. I'm sorry.
It's
the truth. Sorry. They use these things and they basically blend them up alive. Like they stick hundreds of them, and there's so many of them in one small space that they don't die instantly.
And you know why they don't keep them to feed you with the chicken? It's because
they use it for other products.
And exactly, they use that bone, that tissue, that whatever to make to make your gelatin, which is used in anything that's jello like.
That's something so crazy.
Gummy.
I never ever realized that there's animal based products in these things. Well, you have a list of things after. We'll go through that later, because that's super interesting.
Like that you would never realize that it's not vegan.
Some of them you're gonna be like, what is this? Like, no idea. And it's hard to refrain from some of these things because they're everyday products. Like, you don't even know. It's crazy.
100%.
Let's see. Yeah, I was reading this article on the Washington Post, and it's titled How a National Food Policy Could Save Millions of Lives. So I saw this title, it intrigued me. I'm like, hey, what do you mean national food policy, millions of lives? Interesting. Okay. So I read it.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. It basically says the food industry is the largest sector of our economy, of the United States economy, which makes sense. But that includes, the meat industry, all types of agriculture, everything. And that affects us in every single way. That affects us directly, indirectly, whether we know it, whether we want to know it or not. Some different ways that it affects us is health, obviously. Whatever you're eating, it's what you're putting into your body. It's what you're nourishing or not nourishing yourself with. Environmental and climate change, which is a big one, which
Huge.
is real.
Extremely real.
Yes. If you don't think it's real,
I don't know what to say.
this podcast isn't for you. That's a whole different podcast.
Yeah.
It's not fake news.
It's not at all.
So, also the economy and the federal budget. So they have basically the government has different budgets to put into different parts of the agriculture sections of our food industry, and they invest a lot. I forgot what the exact percentage was. I forgot to write it in my notes, but the exact what they put into money-wise into promoting, into growing, the marketing of the meat industry is so much more than they put into vegetables.
Yes.
And think about it. This is whatever the United States, the media, what the marketing, whatever they want to sell to us is they can do that. So if they really wanted to change and make it so that we buy more vegetables, more fruits, they can do that because they can invest more in putting more ads and putting more different things.
Like you said, it's all about money.
But they don't want to because it doesn't.
It's convenient for
What's
them.
more expensive, a burger or an apple?
Exactly.
A freaking burger. So that's what they want to do. So that's okay. So we have economy, and there is no federal national food policy. So basically that would be a plan or an agreement set to manage American agriculture food systems as a whole. And that's something that would basically ensure and guarantee that the food is free of toxic bacteria, chemicals, drugs, hormones, all of that.
That would be cool.
Also, that the production of food is done transparently.
Nice.
That's a big one. So, what does that even mean? What do you think that means, Vania?
I mean, I think that you should know what you're eating, basically. So, before you go and pick up that burger, before you go to Walmart and get yourself the steak for the barbecue, know where that steak was right before you ate it, right before you bought it, and know what it is that it's doing.
Yeah. So you see all these, it's illegal to actually videotape inside of these slaughterhouses and these places. It's illegal. But isn't that sketch? Like, how sketchy is it that you're not allowed
to know?
They
don't want you
withholding
to
that
know.
information.
Yes.
Like, why can't you just know where your food comes from? I'm sure people would make their decisions differently.
Of course. No, and thank God for PETA for that exact same reason, because they expose, and there are people on their own that they want to show the world what it is. And like we've said before, people don't want to know what they're eating because of course, I mean, no one wants to know that where the chicken really came from. No one really wants to know where your bacon comes from. It's just the way it is.
They just ignore the ugly parts.
They want to look the other way. Yes,
it's a lot easier to do that in the world than to
definitely. Like in everything in life. But when it comes to transparency, I think it would be amazing. Maybe it changes people for real. Yeah, it's not. And I think it's
fair to ask. Honestly, it's so fair to ask to know the simple fact of knowing where your stuff comes from. That's it. You're not just a fact.
Man, like if you really knew that your cow grew up in feces and grew up in
the waste is going into all this
and they're never cleaned, no one ever washes them.
No, they don't need to.
Like if you really knew this and you saw these videos and you saw the process of it, I'm pretty sure you would look at milk differently. You would look at a piece of meat completely differently. That's the whole thing about transparency. At least you would. Yeah. I think so.
And it will also force places to be cleaner. And
definitely.
To be, because there's somebody looking out.
They say that. And they say that always. And the new thing now, it's not new, but
if somebody can go into a place, let's say you're not going that full step and committing completely to be a vegetarian or whatever, at least the fact that these places know that there's somebody that can walk in with a camera and can expose them.
Okay.
that would at least force them to maybe give them a little couple of inches
But think
of more
about
space
it. Nowadays,
a little bit better.
within, let's say, 10 years, maybe I'm pushing it. Maybe within 5 years. No, I'm going to go with 10. People, they do know that they hire PETA workers and field workers, and they are meant to record these things. They're meant to go into their farms undercover.
Incognito.
Exactly. And record the whole process and the truth about it, and they work there for years
and
to
thanks
come.
for you guys, honestly.
Yes. And then so these people do know that they are out there, because look at all the videos being leaked. Look at all the
everyone's seen it at this point in 2017.
That's exactly my point.
Everyone's seen it
at this point once. Like, we know that it's out there.
It's just
so I don't understand how they don't think about that.
I feel like a lot of people still think that it's like, you know, like information that's fake or
I
just
can't understand
skewed or too extremist, but it's not. Another thing, food industry paying fair wages, that goes into a whole other thing, but that also has to do with employing people that don't have legal documents or green cards, you know, that they're paying them much less than what
I know. And think about it, those workers are not happy where they're working. So do you think that they put any care into what they're doing? No, they don't. So if we're going to talk about animal abuse, they're not going to even think about it, because look at what they're getting paid. Look at what goes into their job. No one's going to really do a great job at their work if they're not happy.
Yeah.
And if you're getting paid minimum wage, man.
And corporations stealing all this money and taking the jobs of other small town, you know, mom and pop farmers and, you know, smaller companies that are doing it the right way and feeding the animals correctly and not putting in all these hormones. It's sad. Another thing, it'll ensure that animals are treated with compassion and cruelty free, which is a big one. We've already touched that.
Man. Yeah.
Carbon footprint reduction. If you're producing, you're not overproducing a lot. Like, how many McDonald's that you go to, like, by the end of the day, if they don't sell all of their burgers, which they make hundreds and hundreds of, they throw them away. There's food being wasted. Apart from think of all those animals that they're killing, all the carbon emissions and methane. It's a funny little fact about, like, cow farts. You know how many, there are a lot of cows in the United States. Cow farts have methane.
Yes, they do.
That's horrible. That's huge, like, greenhouse gas.
Crazy.
It's like the most potent, I think.
Look, I have a whole bunch of fun facts on this specific topic.
Spill.
So the Washington Post said that one cow's annual output of the greenhouse gas methane is equivalent to emissions by a car burning about 250 gallons of gasoline.
Wait, what? One cow?
One cow. Annual output.
Oh my god. Output, we know what that means.
Yes. Of the greenhouse gas methane, okay, is equivalent to emissions by a car burning about 250 gallons of gasoline.
What?
250 gallons of
That's
gasoline.
A super
one
road
cow.
Trip.
But this is one cow. So one cow is equivalent to burning about 250 gallons of gasoline.
That's crazy. No. That's like it's numbers that you can't even think. You don't think that's even real.
No.
That's crazy.
And, you know, meat industry is the second biggest environmental hazard facing the earth.
That's crazy.
And guess what the first one is?
Transportation?
Yes, a car. So you're telling me we all know that cars pollute the earth.
Yeah.
To think that the meat industry is second, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's something.
No.
Okay, because it sucks, but we need to get around. Maybe we don't need to. We can carpool. We can. But we're
trying to find hybrids, and we're doing this. Some people are trying.
Working towards it.
Yes, but who's gonna work towards the meat industry? No one. How are you gonna change that?
I feel like in transportation, it's getting better in the sense that the more technology we're coming up with, the better. Okay. It's affecting the world. Before, cars used to have, you know, they're bigger cars. They didn't have all the quite all the kinks out yet, so they would waste a lot more, you know, and they would put a lot more emissions into the air.
Exactly.
So now technology is bettering itself, and it's reducing that carbon footprint
a little bit. Definitely.
Yeah, and you know, we're coming out with, like you said, hybrids and different alternatives to make it better. But as we're progressing on that side, the meat industry is also
growing in that sense,
it's
making it worse and worse and worse.
Yes.
So eventually, let's say that the car, that transportation becomes, it's not going to be one of the biggest component to our pollution. that means the meat industry gets bumped to first.
Which will happen eventually.
Definitely.
Because the more they get technology, the more they're able to process into factory and make more and more and more
it's
and
just, more. No, I can't understand it. Raising animals for food is the number one source of water pollution. It takes about 2,500 gallons of water to produce a pound of meat, but only 25 gallons to produce a pound of wheat. And that's crazy. And I also saw...
And it's food.
yeah. And I also saw that producing one hamburger uses enough fossil fuel to drive small car 20 miles.
Wow.
I don't know if that makes any sense, but...
It makes no sense, but it's happening, so that's crazy.
Yes, like... The one hamburger you're eating, let's say at Fuddruckers, uses enough fossil fuel to drive your car 20 miles. 20 miles.
Wow. You know how many burgers and how many... Yeah, that is just...
It's being sold daily.
It kind of like... I have to double fact check that because I feel like that can't even be real. But it's a true fact.
Yes,
I think that was a Washington Post article, right? So it's legit.
And it's in PETA, everything is... I wouldn't say it unless I knew it was real. Because, that's also another thing. Like, you're not going to talk about something that you believe in and make it a lie. Like, what's the point? Like, you want to, exactly. You want to show everyone the truth. You don't want to just lie about it. So,
Yeah. And what's crazy is, like, you see all these ads, like these McDonald's ads, Happy Meals, all, like, why are they marketing this food? And McDonald's, like, all that really fast food, they have to put so many preservatives. They try to make the food as cheap as possible because think about it. You get a burger, cheese, onions, pickles, ketchup, mayo, buns. How on earth? And they're making, at least 50% like profit margin. They're not selling you a dollar burger and then only making 10 cents on it, making it the cost of it 90 cents. No, the cost is like 20 cents maybe, and they're selling it to you for $1. Yep. How is it possible to have quality meat?
No.
And,
have you seen
and buns and all of that?
There's videos literally leaking what McDonald's,
the breakdown
with the meat, what it is. It's not even meat. It's probably 20% meat in that little burger.
And what's the rest?
Exactly.
Mystery meat. It's literally
mystery meat. And I didn't eat McDonald's for that reason for a while in my life because I always knew, and this was way before I even went into this lifestyle. Yeah. I always knew that it wasn't right because of that. It was just, there's too much unknown territory, and I personally don't like that.
Yeah, it's like
I want to know. Exactly. So I don't know.
Yeah. And obesity, like childhood obesity, it's now worse than ever. Than it's
ever been.
Yeah, lately, with the Obama presidency, like Michelle Obama, her big initiative was childhood obesity and like helping out with that, and that helped a lot. But at the same time, like you have all of these different angles and different platforms that are pushing you towards this. And kids love McDonald's. Kids love chicken nuggets. What are chicken nuggets? Have you seen the video of chicken nuggets? What it looks like, the meat? It looks like a strawberry smoothie.
Yes.
It looks like soft serve people. Ugh. How? Okay. Like, there's everything in there. There's cartilage. There's little ground up toes, little chicken claws.
Interesting fact. How we said that we were going to discuss, like, the random foods that contain, like...
Oh, my God, yes.
The most randomest...
I'm ready. And
you would never know. Okay. So think about...
I'm a little nervous because what?
But this is when it comes to being vegan. So remember that the huge difference between vegetarian and vegan is that vegans are they have nothing to do with animal products. Okay. And then so the thing
that goes into their lifestyle as well.
Exactly. So that goes. Some of them take it to their lifestyle. Like me right now, I'm transitioning into putting this into my lifestyle. Like I am selling or just completely giving away all the leather purses that I own and things like that. Yeah. And, and it's not even like hurting me, to be honest. And the worst thing is that I was just bought. So someone gave it to me as a gift. And I'm here like, oh, I'm sorry.
Because it's a really nice gift.
It is a really nice gift, but nope.
It goes against your morals.
I tell people now, like, if you know me well and you're ever going to get me anything, just make sure it's not an animal product because I won't have it. I won't use it. So the craziest thing for me is that I just researched was gel nail polish. Like shellac nail polish that has
so basically for all of our guy listeners that may not know the difference between nail polish and like gel or shellac nail polish, it basically regular nail polish lasts like a week maybe.
Yeah, not even
yeah,
like
barely.
days.
And especially if you like work with your hands a lot.
Yeah.
And I know at work
gel, it's supposed to last you like 2 weeks, and your nails are impeccable.
Yeah, they're look great, beautiful. Like super shiny for 2 weeks.
Yes, and they're good for your nails. They allow them to grow, and it makes them harder. So whatever. So gel nail polish is like the it thing to do.
Yeah,
you know. And there's some places that are cheap. But I just found out that I can no longer do gel nail polish because
you found out like 10 minutes ago.
Literally, while I was looking for these things, and I know, you know, and I'm so glad. And then, you know, another thing to know is that when you are vegan,
what does it include? Like gel nail polish
made out of secretions from the lac beetle. From a beetle. So okay, so another thing, people think, okay, vegan is only not eating the cow, the chicken, the pig, but in reality it's more. It's any animal. Yeah,
there's so many animal products that we don't even know.
No, that we don't know. Like honey, you know, a lot of vegans don't eat honey because, you know, it comes from a bee. So that's just up to you. I think that's really up to you. Like I try to not eat the honey, but I'm not gonna completely just take it out of my diet. I mean, I don't choose to. No. But let's say like my mom made me some delicious breakfast and it has a little bit of honey. Like whatever, I'm gonna just eat it and I'm not gonna be depressed about it. But eventually, I want to become like 100% vegan, where I'm not doing any of these. Yeah. I don't want to be a part of anything. Like a beetle. Why would you care about it? But I don't know. It goes far beyond the beetle. Yeah. Like if that makes any sense. I'm sorry,
it might sound really, really, really terrible, but like
you don't care.
I'm like, I kind of don't care for the beetle.
For a beetle,
I hate insects.
Exactly,
and that's so selfish and like but hypocritical of me to say. Most people would say that some animals matter more than others. I don't know. It just maybe because it's not so known, and maybe the process isn't as cruel and as lengthy as the process
that you think of
getting meat.
And you know, because like we kill ants like nothing. We walk, we step on the ant, and it's getting killed. So you think the same for a beetle, the same for a cockroach, the same for all these like nasty little things. But for me, but that's exactly my point. Like it goes above just the animal. It's like the whole philosophy of it, and I really do believe in this. So I don't want to just exclude the beetle because it's a beetle. Yeah. So I'm trying to make this like a hardcore thing, you know. I'm sure a lot of people know that whey, you know, it contains milk. So that comes in like protein shakes and things that you buy. And a lot of things contain whey. So that's another thing that you can and you look into. Gelatin, as I've mentioned, it has animal-like products. So it contains a whole bunch of different animals. Like it's the pig, it's the chicken, it's the cow, it's everything, lamb, it's all of their little bones, their cartilages, their tissues, like everything mixed into one little thing. And gelatin is used to make jello. All the gummy products that we eat, like the sour candies, our gums, Altoids, like things that you wouldn't even think of have gelatin. And it's crazy.
That's intense.
Another thing that has gelatin that, I mean, you know, peanuts. Okay, peanuts are something normal to eat, but then you can get, at least I can get salted peanuts because the thing that makes the salt stick to the peanut is the gelatin. It's because it has no taste, but my God, it's gelatin. Like,
yeah, it's like ingredients that aren't even like, you know, you don't taste them, you don't see them, you don't feel them. They're just like,
if it weren't up to me, if it wasn't for me reading the ingredients, I would eat it and never know about it. And okay, another thing about being being vegan is when you do this, it's a whole process. Like you're a lifestyle. You're constantly learning it. Like right now, yesterday I drank a mimosa. And that has orange juice. And I did not know until today that orange juice has omega-3, right? And okay, fine, you think omega-3, that's fine. But that's fish oil and fish gelatin. So if we think about this, again, orange juice has animal products.
You know, it's funny. I was actually asking Vania a little earlier today. I'm like, I was like, wow, we were having lunch here before. And I asked her, I'm like, wow, like what are some products like that you've heard of that have animal products in them and you would never think. And then I actually used orange juice as an example.
And I told her no. I was like, there's no way orange juice is not vegan. Like it has to be vegan. And then I'm Googling all this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not vegan. And it's not all orange juice. It's selected orange juice. So that's why you have to look at the ingredients. So the main thing to learn from this is that you're always going to be looking at ingredients for the rest of your life.
I think,
And I don't have a problem with it, to be honest. Because I kind of like, at this point, like we said, transparency. I want to know what I am putting inside my body. So this is, it for me, kind of, it makes grocery shopping a little bit more exciting. Maybe just because I'm so in love with this whole thing that I love to know that everything I'm eating is 100% okay. Another thing that I think is gonna like challenge me the most when I go out is beer. Beer has casein. or casein. I don't know how you say that.
Yeah, I think it's
casein. And that's milk protein. It also contains gelatin and lactose. Some beers. This is not all beers.
That's crazy.
And I didn't know that.
Sucks.
I would never know that beer has these things. Like, I thought beer was vegan.
Yeah, I'm like here thinking like, hey, beer is beer. Like, I don't have to worry about
why
that.
would... For me, the craziest fact though that you would not, and I think it would shock you right now, is apple juice. Like, how could apple juice not be vegan?
No. Apple juice isn't like,
and this is
omega-3,
the grossest thing, I think. No, it's not the omega-3. They use the bladder of a fish.
Stop.
Yes.
What
and this
for?
And like, I don't know. And like I said,
That's
this is not,
infuriating.
like you don't know. That's the thing with me. Like, I've realized this. I eat something and then I'm like, wait. Did I just eat something animal like? I go, I Google it and I'm like, okay, I'm good. But sometimes I freak out and I'm like, oh my God, it's probably not right.
At least like I feel like that's going to happen a lot at first because you're learning.
And that's my point. It's a whole learning process.
Yeah.
I think until you get it 100% right, that you know everything by memory, you're not going to.
Or at least the things that you like. Maybe when you try something you've never tried before, you'll inquire about it. You'll find it, just do research. Exactly. There's actually, there are a couple of different apps that are available for download on for iOS and Android. And some of these apps, like, they're pretty cool. There are a couple of them, so I'm going to mention some. They're all different in their own ways, but basically the point of these apps are to type in a product. You're at the grocery store, you type in a product you want to see, it'll pop out if it's not just if it has products, like if it has animal byproducts, but it'll also tell you if the company, the cosmetic company or whatever, if they do animal research.
I really like that you say that, because I've been looking into dark chocolate because one of the biggest things.
Looking into dark chocolate, I'm sure.
It's just, I don't like chocolate personally, but I think when something is taken away from you, you want it. And that was me. The second I went vegan, I was like, oh my God, now I really want chocolate. And I don't like chocolate, so why do I want chocolate? So I just went crazy looking for chocolate and good chocolate. And I Googled and it said most dark chocolates are vegan.
Yeah,
because they don't have milk.
Lighter is like the milk chocolate.
Exactly. So then I was like, okay, for sure dark chocolate has to be vegan. I go look into the ingredients and no, dark chocolate also has milk. Dark chocolate has some type of trace in it. And then the worst part about this entire situation is that, like, I could go into a dairy-free chocolate chip cookie. It'll say dairy-free. I look at the ingredients and it says may contain milk, may contain eggs.
Yeah.
But how? What do you mean may?
It has or it doesn't.
So my assumption...
And is that legal? Like, how is that?
I don't understand.
There has to be some
you're
type of
saying it's
loophole that
dairy-free.
they're
Like,
following.
what if I was allergic? Like, what are you doing? May contain. Like, I just rather avoid it altogether. But that does make it confusing. I find that terrible.
I think when products say such and such product may contain,
I think it's because it was made in a factory where they're
a lot of times peanuts.
Yes, peanuts. Like, they say may contain trace of peanuts due to whatever. It was made in the same factory where they handle peanuts. So the same goes for the milk and the same goes for the egg.
But if the actual product is like, it's saying that it's specific on the label and it says dairy free, then you cannot. It shouldn't be allowed.
It should be in a separate little area. Like, this is the dairy little area where we make the dairy stuff, and this is the one where we don't do the dairy. The company
as a whole, it's like,
come on.
If your company is doing things to be dairy free, then you're not gonna have also dairy. It's kind of like
exactly. Like,
you have to pick your
but think about it. Ben and Jerry. Ben and Jerry's. This is the ice cream. Ice cream is made mostly out of milk and that's pure dairy product. But now they're coming up with the non-dairy product, and I loved it. I'm obsessed with it. Yes. The second it came out, it's amazing. It does not taste any different.
Gelato, is it? Like, is it kind of like that, or
no?
It's still creamy?
Like a sorbet. No, it's not like at all. Like, it's not. It's very creamy. Nice. And that's what freaks me out too, because sometimes you buy things and it's gross because it's very watery. It doesn't have substance. But Ben and Jerry's at least makes it great. Nice. And they don't say may contain, but it's still kind of in the back of my head, like, where are they making it? Because if their ice cream is made like their main component is dairy, I don't know. It's a little sketchy, but it works. I'm very glad that they have the non-dairy section for those moments that I want to eat ice cream.
Nice.
So
everybody needs some ice cream sometimes.
I agree.
That's crazy. There's so many different. What do you have any other cool things that have animal products?
I don't know. It's literally a day by day. Like, I go figuring it out as I go.
You learning.
And it's sad because when I go to Publix, I'm like, oh, I totally want this. Then I used to eat it thinking, oh, it's totally vegan friendly back in the day, because like, why wouldn't it be?
Yeah,
it
you
has
think
nuts.
if it's not a meat product, it's vegan.
It's exactly. So then I turn it around. I'm like, wow, it may contain milk, and I just put it back and I walk away. It's just like it's insane. Everything is made out of an animal product.
Wow.
And you wouldn't know it.
That's crazy. Yeah. Well, these apps. You can. I don't know. Do you have any of these?
No.
I'm gonna
you're
download
telling me,
one.
and I'm excited.
Because it's also, even if you're not a vegan, like I'm not a vegan, but I don't drink dairy milk. Do like almond milk or something. Okay. But I'm not like, if I'll have ice cream, you know. Like,
yeah, no. Like you go to a cafeteria and you'll get yourself a smoothie
café con leche,
or café con leche, and that's leche. Mm-hmm. That's milk.
Yeah.
So,
but there's one called Cruelty Free, the app. One called Bunny Free. Cruelty Cutter, you know, all these cute little names, and they have cute little icons too. Yeah,
I'm gonna look into that when I go home.
Yeah, I think I'll write it down in the description. I'll write down some of these different apps so you guys can download your favorite.
That would be cool.
That's pretty cool.
I like that a lot.
And
I'm very glad that exists, because honestly, it does make it difficult sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
When you know what they really should do though, is that they should create like a vegan friendly supermarket, if that makes any sense. Like, and like Trader Joe's is super vegan friendly, but it's not entirely. And like, I would really love to go somewhere where everything is just plant based, and it's my heaven, like my go-to area.
I guess like little
like Whole Foods is my heaven.
Yeah, like it's little pop-up shops and like little farmers markets.
That's exactly what it is. Farmers market and pop-up shops. But like, I would want something a little bit bigger where I can get everything. I don't have to go to 3 different places to get what I want. True. You know what I mean? Like, I have to drive to Homestead to get my organic lentils and things like that. But that's like a drive, you know, every weekend. It's not, I don't know. I feel like it. That's why
so nice though. It's like, it shows your dedication, the fact that it's not coming easy to you, or like really to anybody that's doing any intense,
especially living in a place like Miami.
Yeah, that it's like, oh, it's so tempting to just like get up and go to your nearest supermarket and just get the freaking ice cream instead of having to go for
exactly.
But that's what makes it even better. That's what makes it taste better.
Dedication. Yep. Most likely.
What was I gonna say? Let's see. You had mentioned,
I do recommend documentaries, if we're gonna talk about like really good documentaries to talk about, because
that's what really pushes, I feel, that's what pushes me over.
Like, visually seeing it, because right now you and me are talking, we're talking about this, we could talk forever, I could go on for days, but it's when I show you that video is when everyone just, wow, they get shocked, they freak out, they're like, oh my god, so this is what it is. It's like, yeah, I could have told you explicit details, but until you see it, it's when you're like, oh my god. So Cowspiracy is really good.
I've heard of that one. I haven't seen it.
Really good.
That's on Netflix, right?
I'm not sure.
Is it?
I don't know. I watch a lot of things on illegal websites. So.
Oh no!
Sorry. But that's where they're really good. But Cowspiracy is really, really good. Forks Over Knives is on Netflix, and that one is pretty normal. It's more educative.
General.
Yeah, it's gonna give you a lot of facts. But I think the one that really changes people, and it's not easy. Like, for myself, I had to force myself to watch it, if you were to say, like 4 times before I actually was able to watch it.
Watch it like completely.
Because
what's this one?
This one's, it's called Earthlings.
Like
Earthlings.
Oh wow! And what makes that one so extreme?
It's truly, it literally does not sugarcoat anything. It'll show you the videos. It'll show you what the cries, the screaming of these animals. It doesn't sugarcoat it. It's real. It's super real. It's plain. It's right there in front of your face. And man, it's not easy. And honestly, you hear the workers and the things that they say and how inhumane they sound.
Like robots.
Yeah, literally. Yes. Or just like people without hearts. I mean, maybe it's just me that I feel like we are all good somehow. Even the worst of people have a good heart somewhere in there. But to see that is when I question humanity. And although I question it all the time.
The fact that,
But when this video, at least, this documentary was completely life-changing. I think if out of all the things I've watched and out of all the things I've seen, this one is something I would recommend to anyone. The only thing about it is that it really isn't for everyone. You can't, I don't know. Yeah. It's not something easy to watch. Like, my mom is super into this, but she would never watch it.
Yeah.
Like, never watch it. Which in the second that the documentary starts, she's walking away. And she'll scream at me for even watching it. Like, why do I do that to myself? And you know what? It's to help me, to remind me what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And why I want the world to know that, you know? Nice. Definitely.
I think at the root of it, that's what it is. Just doing your part, basically, to make the world a little bit better. To if hundreds and thousands, millions of people in the United States and all around the world would do their little part in contributing.
But I saw this video. You know how like social what is it? Social feed? No, BuzzFeed on YouTube. They do like these little things where they talk about like what if the world went vegan for a day, or like what if the world suddenly changed to veganism, and aside from animals being happy and not confined and you know that aspect of it, literally our grass would be greener, you know. All these things that I'm saying, it's cliche, but
where do you think the waste of these of these farms go? The waste goes into the water, and that's where we get our water pollution. It goes into the rain, acid rain. You know, it's so much. It's so many factors, huge cycle, and we don't even realize it. It's like it's not until you really become a part of this is when you actually start getting educated on it, and that's I think when we come in hand and we try to educate you guys so you guys can come and see what we're talking about. Definitely. That's all it's about. And let's see. Oh, I was when I started off, one of the things study that I heard about that was really interesting to me was it's called the China study, and it's super famous. It's the most comprehensive study of nutrition ever conducted. Okay. So that one is a doctor, and he did this study, and basically he's saying the relationship between the consumption of animal products, including dairy, and chronic illnesses that includes everything from coronary heart disease, diabetes, type 2 diabetes, which is actually, before, it was very rare for a child to have type 2 diabetes. And now 1 in every 3 children have that, or will develop that in their lives. Actually, 1 in every 3 children. Wow. That's sad. That's crazy. Depressing. And that's totally preventable.
And you know, vegetarians versus vegans. Let me get into that real quick, because if we're going to talk about nutrition, I think, like I've said it, you do this wrong, you could go south with your health. It's something that you really do need to monitor. Me transitioning right now to veganism, like completely, I want to really get my blood levels checked, you know, to make sure what it is that my body truly needs right now, or what am I missing, what am I doing wrong, like what is it that I need to fix about this, so I know what it is that my body needs. And like I said, all bodies are different, everyone is different, and it's not for everyone. But if you do this wrong, you could lack iron, calcium, zinc, and vitamin D. And these are important, like it's everything that you need. The good thing about it though is that it's low on saturated fat and cholesterol. And is this
vegan or vegetarian?
Both
plant-based.
This is plant-based. Now the difference would be that vegetarians consume slightly more omega-3 fatty acids, calcium, vitamin B12 than vegans. So that's a good thing, because I suppose that they're eating the dairy. However, vegans have lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes and cancer and heart diseases.
I think over a period of 10 years, vegans have 10% less chance than a vegetarian, and I think, like double that of a regular meat eater. To develop cardiovascular disease.
Exactly. No, definitely. They also have lower body mass, and they gain less weight over time. Nice. So that's pretty cool for us girls, I think. Yeah. Especially after it's healthy. That's great. I love that.
There's breast cancer, prostate cancer, bowel cancer, all of these things that are increased when you're a meat eater. Also, your energy level, your sex drive, all of these things are things that are...
Fun fact that I read the other day that I found this super funny. Apparently, good sex life is associated with a plant-based diet.
Cool. Nice.
Right? I didn't know that until the other day, and I started cracking up because that's awesome.
You find things like random things that you feel like may not have any correlation.
Yeah, but they do. And maybe it's the stamina, maybe it's the energy. I don't know what it could be, but I find that super cool.
That is cool. That's awesome. Fun fact. Let's see. Well, yeah, guys, I think we're pretty much done here. We're going to wrap it up, and yeah, I just encourage all of you guys to at
least look into it.
Yeah, have a look.
Educate yourselves a little more about it. Ask. When you meet a vegan or you meet a vegetarian, I think my main thing about if you're gonna take anything from this is when you do meet one, don't make them feel like what they're doing is wrong, and don't ask unless you're truly interested. Don't ask. Because I feel like when people ask me like, oh, why are you doing it? And I just look at them like, do you really want to know? I don't know what type of answers to give.
I kind of have to disagree with you there.
Really? Vania. Why?
Because asking, a lot of people don't know. So if people don't ask us, then there's no way.
No. I get you. Yes.
You as a vegetarian or vegan have to be informed enough to be able to answer with facts. So when somebody asks me, oh, why this? Then you should be able to give that person facts as to why. And then maybe that might change or shift something in their mind to maybe look into it more.
But that's when I say only if you don't care. Like if you don't care, don't ask.
True.
Because
some people I've gotten that smugly.
No, definitely. That's my point. True. Like if you do it with bad intentions, don't do it at all. That's my point. Like definitely do it because I love the questions when someone's actually interested. Yeah, man, I'll go for days and I'll love having that conversation with you. Mm-hmm. But if you're not interested and you're just there to make me feel dumb about it, then just don't do it. Cool. Because I don't know how many times, and definitely moms and dads, whenever I get introduced and like I have like a big label in my forehead that I'm vegan. So anyone's gonna be like, oh look mom, that's my vegan friend, or look, that's my vegan friend. It's like, okay, hi, yeah, I have no problem with it. I'm really I love that I am, so whatever.
Yeah, you're proud.
The second someone looks at me and they're like, oh, sorry, it's like, what?
There's also like this social stigma, like
that's exactly what it is.
What a vegan can be anyone. You can look at somebody,
yes,
but then there's this like thing I think recently in social media especially, and in like different little like shows and skits that I've seen, like
they're like the hippies, like they're the chill people,
or like
but I've seen the most influential athletes, the most the number one bodybuilders, like these people are crazy. All vegans. They're vegans. A lot of politicians, actors, actresses, like everyone. People that
have access and funds to pay whichever type of diet, and to be able to basically customize the diet to their to what they want.
Yes,
they choose to be vegan or vegetarian.
I love it. But definitely, ask. Yeah. Ask away if you want to. And if you don't care, then just leave your opinion.
I just remembered a fun fact. Well, you guys know Kat Von D, the tattoo artist?
Yes.
She's vegan for a long time. I love her. She's cool. Awesome. Her makeup brand was actually one of the first ones to be completely cruelty free.
Beautiful.
And she's super into that. She has a bunch of different organizations and initiatives.
You think she has vegan tattoos?
That's the thing. You read my mind. Did you guys know that tattoos are not vegan? We're reading this list of things, and Vania has tattoos, and so do I. Vania has a lot more. But she's like, wait, what? Tattoos are vegan?
Because charcoal, apparently the charcoal used, I guess, to burn the animals are used for that. I didn't read that.
Animals are used in the charcoal that
gives the black ink its color. Yeah, something like that. But at the end of the day, it's not vegan. So that shocked me. A lot.
There are some alternatives in some vegan friendly tattoo parlors or shops.
But you see, that's exactly when I talk about going to live somewhere vegan friendly for those of us that are vegan, because it's so hard. Like imagine, like I want to go get myself a vegan tattoo now. Where? I mean, I found one place cool, but
here in Miami,
somewhere in Miami. It's not even. It probably is like Fort Lauderdale. No, I remember looking it up and seeing Miami area, and I was like super happy because there's one in a million here in the South Florida. But like you go to Portland and there's like 10.
Yeah, that's
like
cool.
You see what I mean? I don't know. It's just
it's
things like
that. That's their target.
Yeah, audience. That's their lifestyle, and that's what I want. And
cool. I'm sure like maybe some shops will have it. The ink.
Maybe
it's the ink.
Maybe they offer. Yeah, maybe
you have to probably inquire about it. Be like, hey, do you guys happen to have this?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's people that'll look at you like you're crazy, and then I'm sure there are some people that will be like, yeah, for sure.
Miami Beach might have it. Yeah. Because that's the place where it's vegan.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So basically that's about it. I hope you take some stuff away. Thank you so much, Vania,
thank you for having me
and helping me out.
This was fun.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like we're like, hey, let's stop this because it's already getting too long.
Too crazy.
I hope you guys listen to it, and yeah,
Like, you made it this far. You're awesome.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
thank you.
Hopefully
thank you so much.
you didn't skip to the end.
I know. I hope you listen to everything. Cause yeah.
But thanks, guys. I'm gonna write down in the description. I'm gonna write some of the articles that I got information from.
Yes.
Those cool apps, cruelty-free apps that you can research on.
And if you're trying to get into it, look at Pinterest. I promise that you'll feel a lot more relief once you see all the alternative options.
Yeah, delicious foods.
It's amazing.
And yeah, if you have any questions, just comment or let me know, and we'll be happy to answer in a follow-up podcast.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.